Just an incredible week. Since the last time we did this show, Mario Ruiz, this is LAFC Plus, by the way, episode 73. It's only been a week, but LAFC have gathered 6 points. Their top 2 players scored 6 goals total, actually 7, but 2 hat tricks along the way. What are we doing here? They're LAFC now destroying teams with 4 goals per game in the last week. It's been fun, Mario.
It has been fun. And you know what, Dave? I know Real Salt Lake is probably thinking right now, we got to face Denis, Bouanga, and Heung-min again on Sunday. And actually, I think the entire league is probably saying that right now, especially when it comes to the playoffs, which is right around the corner, because I know nobody wants to see this duo, the hottest duo in MLS, the most dangerous duo in MLS, Sonny, Denis together, working the way they're working, that chemistry, the fun they're having. Wow, I think we can all enjoy it right now. You and I, of course, are loving it, Dave.
Oh, just incredible. It's been so much fun. I think we relayed the story briefly when I first met Son, just shook his hand real quick before his first game. And I said, I look forward to calling your goals. I wasn't expecting him to come quite this quickly, in bunches like this. Now 6 appearances, 5 goals and an assist for Son Heung-min. Of course, we knew he was a great player, but wow, we've talked about it before. Sometimes it takes a while for even the greatest players to just acclimate to a new league. Any league, anytime you're making such a big move for your life, this is not just football. Sometimes it takes a while, Mario. He has absolutely hit the ground sprinting here for LAFC. And, on and off the pitch, I mean, we're running out of superlatives already. He's so great, and I'm just shaking my head with positive kind of like awe, truly.
Yeah.
I'm truly in awe of this team now with the way he's playing and the way Denis and him are getting along, on and off the pitch. Yeah, I mean.
That's it, Dave. I mean, this is exactly what I've been waiting for, is the Denis and Sonny connection to come to life. It was just a matter of time, and you and I know that. It's just going to take a matter of time. And now these guys look like they're like best buds on the pitch. The Sellies have been amazing. We got Son doing the front flip, doing his best impersonation of Denis' front flip goal, and then we got the Denis doing the focus, picture frame as Sonny likes to do. So it's just been so much fun watching these guys, and wow, it's going to be fun in this postseason. Like, who's going to stop these guys?
Yeah, exactly. A couple of big wins, as we said, 4-2 over San Jose back on the weekend. And then last night, just as we do the show, less than 24 hours ago, 4-1 over RSL in Sandy, Utah, which of course is up at almost 4,500 feet elevation. There's always some issues when you go into places like that. And RSL, traditionally pretty decent at home along throughout the years. I mean, maybe they're struggling a little bit this season. Certainly, you got to take advantage of that, though. We talked about it even in last week's show. These are games you just have to win. And not only did they win them, they, comprehensively and completely defeated those teams, and with good measure. And again, 2 hat tricks, right? Denis gets the one, and Son gets the early goal against San Jose, right, within a minute, and then Denis picks up a hat trick to make it 4-2 win. Son gets a hat trick last night. Denis gets the goal in the game last night, historic and all that. We'll get to those things too, but I got to tell you, the way they're forming that true connection, Mario, it is truly a true connection on the pitch, and it's looking dangerous. Even look, Son looked great from minute 1 since he's arrived, right? We knew it was going to take some time with the rest of his teammates to really gel, and it has taken less time than I thought it would, to be perfectly honest with you. He is just fitting right in, and again, his talent, you don't expect any different in the long run, but boy, it's been in the short run. I mean, I bet you these type of teams, right, when they knew that Son Heung-min was coming over to take on, you're just hopeful, like if you're San Jose or RSL, you're looking at the schedule like, well, when do you think he's going to play? Maybe that San Diego game, and then you find out he plays the San Diego game, right? First home game, but he already played a few on the road. You're like, oh boy, I hope he doesn't gel by the time they come play us at our place. Well, sorry, it's too late. Son Heung-min is off and running here in MLS for LAFC, and man, it is a thing to behold. It is a beautiful thing to behold, really.
Yeah, And talking about, off and running, LAFC have been scoring in the first few minutes of the last two games, which has been something really cool to see. That doesn't happen very often, hasn't happened very much this season. But, when you do score first, LAFC are pretty dangerous. But scoring so early in the match, the first minute, second minute of the match, third minute of the match, other teams can say, it's so early in the match that, it's okay. Let's get that back. No worries. It's too early in the match. But LAFC have been strong defensively. And let's not forget that LAFC have been conceding earlier in the season. They've been conceding after scoring goals, just minutes after they've been conceding, but not lately. So they've also kind of fixed that situation as well. So it's been awesome for LAFC since Sun Heung-min has got here. He's changed LAFC in so many ways. He changes the game in so many ways. He's been the game changer in every single game that he's been a part of, honestly, Dave.
No, I couldn't agree more. And, oftentimes if there's not a red card in a match, generically speaking, the way you get 4 or 5 goals is you get a couple of goals early and really force the other team to open up. And they did that in both matches. It wasn't just one early goal. It was, in the case of San Jose, 3, and in the case of last night, 2 early goals, right? We're talking within the first, quarter of an hour here. We're barely 15 minutes in. Then you can open up a team. Then they got to really come out, because 1-0, as Mario said, like a team can still be like, okay, we got 84, 89 minutes here, 87 minutes. Like, okay, let's just take our time here. We're still in the match or whatever. We're at home. You're thinking those, but when you get those 2 early goals, or in the case, of course, against San Jose, 3 early goals, then it's just all bets are off, right? You just got to come out and open up and maybe play a way you don't want to play and play exactly the way LAFC wants to play, with hitting you on counterattacks, and it just run to perfection, no doubt about it. There was also some shifting formationally, of course. It's the, maybe more of a 3-5-2. It just depends on how you want to kind of characterize it. 5-3-2, 3-5-2. I mean, it's a little bit of both at times, really, realistically. But what it does is that shift formationally, I think, is really opening up the counterattack. Even in the early minutes, it's just, you have Palencia. Of course, he's going to defend a lot. And, maybe it is more of a 5-3-2, but with guys who are going to get forward a lot as well. Ryan Holling said you never have to ask him twice to get into the attack. That's what he wants to do. So if they're playing more on those wings, and they don't have maybe less defensive responsibility, quote unquote, less, look out, you can just, the counterattack is just opening up, and it makes it so, if you notice even, it's not just about the first line of defense and where they engage. It's also kind of where they end up, that front line defending, where I think so often earlier in the season we would, they try to start right around midfield, maybe even a little into the offensive zone at times, right, Mario? But then by the time they'd end up, right, defending, they were ending up almost in their corners, and like 25 off the end line, like deep, too deep, frankly, to really do. But even in this formation, even when Denis and Son are responsible for defending back in their own defensive half, they're still higher up the pitch. And sometimes they can do, they have the freedom to go back if they want the ball or whatever. I'm not saying they're going to be 95 minutes of not allowed to go too deep. But when they, by and large, they're already up near midfield, and they can just blow by these defenders from that position. And indeed, that's what they've been doing.
I think the depth of LAFC is really showing as of late too, because you got guys like Smolyakov coming off the bench. You got David Martinez coming off of the bench. So many guys that are contributing and can be starting in so many different teams around MLS. I think it's just a happy group of guys right now, and it's all from their leader, Sun Heung-min. He carries that smile everywhere he goes, and it's contagious. It just feels like so contagious. You can't help it but to kind of follow his lead, and what a guy to follow other than Sun Heung-min. And that's just, everybody is just feeling it right now at the right time. And other guys like Ryan Porteous as well, who's got here at the right time. He's been adapting well, very, very quickly. He's a leader on that back line, arrived at the right time with Aaron Long going down to injury. He steps in and he's giving direction on corner kicks. He's telling guys, go here. He was yelling out directions to Sonny on a corner kick, like, hey, defend like right here. Get this position right here. Sure. And then he's standing up for Smolyakov when Smolyakov kind of, gets knocked with the headbutt. and just keeping calm with everybody, making sure that Smoliakov was staying calm, because you don't want Smoliakov to react after getting that headbutt, which was a direct red card right away. So just everybody stepping up at the right time and knowing that it's pretty close to playoff time, and it's getting, it's right around that time where everybody's got to step up.
Yeah, and we did mention it briefly over the last few weeks, looking ahead to this time of the year. We said, look, the schedule's pretty soft. Those are games you got to go win, right? And normally on the road, you take any win you can get. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a 1-0 on an own goal and you play bad. Like, you just want to get this. But these are great performances too. And that's crucial on the road. Because, look, we're going to probably have to win a couple road games in the playoffs over the stretch of the whole playoffs, right? You can't, at this point, you can't presume necessarily that LAFC are going to have some, number one seed or win the supporter, like that stuff is probably out of reach realistically, maybe not mathematically, but you know what I mean? So you have to kind of assume that, like, you might have to go on the road to some pretty tough places here. You want to put in good performances too in the playoffs, because that's the only way you're going to get talk about on the road.
These 3 games here, the 2 against RSL and the San Jose game. So they've already taken care of business in San Jose, at RSL. This next one is on Sunday. If they do take care of business at home, that'll be 9 points in the matter of just 8 days. And we talked about that before this 3-game stretch, about how gaining those 9 points would be massive, crucial for playoff seeding. And we're just right there. Sunday night is that match at BMO Stadium. Everybody looking forward to another home game. Heung-min. There's going to be a special night Sunday night. We'll talk about that later on as well. But right now we're talking about this last game at RSL.
And essentially, last night was one of your games in hand, if you want to look at it that way, because very few teams played midweek. Yes, Seattle played the night before against Inter Miami. That was a big game. So, maybe that wasn't.
Thank you, Inter Miami. Yes.
Yeah, taken against Seattle. But most teams didn't play the midweek. So that was going to be a game in hand, if you will, that catches you up a bit in the, in terms of the standings with how many games you've played. Yeah, and now Vancouver and LAFC are on the same amount of games played all of a sudden. LAFC still chasing Vancouver for the 3rd spot. But the teams above, still a few games in hand against those teams. Obviously, LAFC mathematically still in it to, chase down every team in the West, potentially. But again, we're not even worried about that as much as the performances. You want to start getting hot at the right time. Not just winning, but actually playing well, too. You'll take a win at any time on the road. Make no mistake. Like I said, you just get it any way you can. But these were great.
Hot and healthy. That's what you want to be. Hot and healthy.
Love that. And we do want to say congratulations, too, for some off-the-field business. Sergi Palencia, and just today, as we do this show on Thursday, Timothy Tillman, LAFC, not long ago, as we recorded this. Tillman and Palencia both getting long-term, re-signing long-term deals for the club, with the club, and that is just great news. Certainly for them, congratulations. They both deserve it. But it's great news, Mario, in a league where you have salary cap like MLS, and realistically, you can't go out and get 22 Son Heung-mins, right? That just, obviously, that's not the way the league works. You don't have 22 designated players. You don't have 30 guys on your team, all, like Real Madrid. They could just go buy whoever they want, stack it up, whatever. That's not how MLS works. We all know these things. We know the restrictions. So when you get guys like Palencia and Tillman, who are really good MLS players, just great MLS players that want to stay, they bought in, they're obviously great guys. They fit in with the team and everything else. They've been great, loyal that way, on and off the pitch. Just great signings, really. And that's what you have to do. You have to wrap up guys like that, and keep them around.
This tells me that all these guys are kind of like keeping the core together because they feel something special is going on right now with LAFC, because you got Sergi signed for a few years. You have Tillman signed for a few years. You have Porteous here for a few years through 2028 as well. Sonny is here for a few years. So they feel like the time is now to win trophies, right? And Porteous, he's in his prime as well. So plenty of guys here with a lot of experience, at a good age here. Yeah. Sergi could have went back to Spain. He could have went to pursue other other dreams and stuff, but he likes it here in LA, and him and his family love it here in LA. It says a lot about LAFC too, because when he came here from Spain or from where he was playing at before, he didn't even know much about MLS, right? Because it was hard to watch the games back then. And he probably even knew about LAFC. So for him to stay here, his family loves it, his daughter loves it, his wife loves it here. And it just makes me so happy that he's so happy off the pitch, because now he can perform and do his thing. And of course, Sergi's always been so generous with his time on the microphone with you and I, with interviews, and so smart with his answers, and just giving us the right amount of information, the smart stuff for all of us to learn from. So yeah, props to Sergi and Tillman. And Tillman with a great game last night. You were mentioning it during the broadcast, how solid he was with his passing, with his turns. He was getting fouled all night long. They couldn't contain Tillman. So props to Tillman for getting rewarded the very, very next day with a 3-year contract to stay here with LAFC.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds crazy. And I know Son Heung-min and Denis Bouanga both got game balls. So we saw those kind of social media posts and everything. I thought Tillman was maybe it's crazy to say when guys are scoring historic goals and hat tricks and all getting assists to each other. And I thought Tillman maybe had the best game of everybody last night, ironically. So taking nothing away from the guys up front, certainly they deserve it because they buried their chances. But yeah, he was incredible last night. Maybe some of that, maybe he already knew he was getting this, right? The deal's done. Maybe he
was playing like it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was playing like he was still trying to earn a contract. So I don't know.
Both.
Maybe it officially didn't get done till, I don't know. I mean, we don't have any inside information that way, but wow, that was incredible. The performance there, certainly. And Tillman, again, there's free agency in MLS, right? You could stay. These guys might have been able to get more money in MLS somewhere else, even.
Yeah.
Chasing the last dollar. You're not, obviously there are salary cap restrictions on all teams in MLS, though. But you know what you got here, right? You have LAFC, a great organization. You got a great locker room. You win a ton. You went to the Club World Cup, that's certainly not out of the realm of possibility the next time it comes around, right? That's what we hope for. That's what we're shooting for with LAFC. And players know that. And by the way, you just brought in Son Heung-min, and spent spent the kind of money to break the transfer record. So players are going to be coming in at all times who are going to be great, and you're going to be able to play with great teammates.
And you and I, Dave, we always talk about how Sergi might be the best at his position in all of MLS, and he's so underrated, right? We know he's so valuable to this team. Cherundolo knows how valuable he is to this team. You can't replace him. He's that good. Yeah. The energy that he brings, the attitude that he brings to each and every training session and to the games is just, you can't match that. And that's why we love Sergi. Yeah.
I cannot remember a game. Look, he's had some games where he didn't have his best game. I don't mean that. I mean, I can't remember a game where he did not play with that intensity.
Oh yeah.
I can't. And certainly along the way, he's probably had some nagging injury every now and again, like everybody does. Probably was ill, maybe a game or two. Who knows? Like under the weather. Like I've never seen him not play with that intensity for all the years he's been here. Not once. Again, you might not have a great game, might not work out, every night. That's just the way professional sports are. Even Lionel Messi doesn't have a great game every time. But I've never seen him not play with that intensity, and that is amazing. Yeah. I mean,
and talking about that intensity, somebody who matches that and is going to match that is Ryan Porteous. Ryan Porteous, he matches that. Yeah. He has that aggressiveness. He's probably one of the most aggressive defenders in all of MLS. I mean, he's just here to win. He's here to just knock guys over and just do his thing. I love watching Ryan so far already. And I think fans are really going to become fans of Ryan once they get to see him play more, and he spends his years here with LAFC. He's really going to be a big fan favorite, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's for the formational change that's doing this exclusively, but what we notice in these two games, and again, you got to keep doing it, right? It's two matches that have gone really well. There's been a bit of a shift in the speed through the midfield, how they're kind of turning and going, let's do that. Like, it's almost like they're just, Steve and his coaching staff are just like, hey, let's not overthink this through the midfield a lot, and let's not slow it down as much. Now, you can bring the ball back, you can play through the back line and kind of settle things down. We see that, of course. Every team's going to do that at some, but you can see a real commitment to just let's get after it. We always talk about the speed of play. It's so crucial, and especially in a league that's improving and improving and improving. You can't take too long, because otherwise it turns into you're going 3v8 every time. And that's not happening as much anymore. Like they're getting into the 3v2s, the 3v3s, and I'll take those odds on, counterattacks. I'll take 3v4 any day of the week with the attackers we have, or 2v3, and they're getting even better odds, now because of the midfield really kind of breaking things down quick. Delgado, we highlighted Tillman, of course, but Mark Delgado, Tillman,
Chouanier,
they're moving that ball quickly through.
They are. And then with Denis and Sonny up there, let's not overthink it, like you said. Let's not overthink it. Those guys open up the field, Yeah,
and again, it might have just been game flow and things like that because of the way the goals came early. But there was very few times where you see Denis out on the wing, getting the ball and going 1v3 like he had to do for a lot of times. I can't even remember maybe once where it was like he just had no other help at that time. He thought, well, I'll try to beat these guys and draw a foul or get through. Maybe you can still beat them. Denis can. Maybe once in the last two games. I don't even know. Maybe I'm even just making that up. Like, I can't remember one.
I mean, you got to cover Sonny, right? You can't just leave Sonny alone.
Absolutely.
So,
well, that makes a big difference too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, we're not seeing and again, it's a work in progress still. They're still all trying to get on the same, final page here, like the real push for the cup. But man, it's coming together, and so
it is.
We are seeing it. And again, formationally, that makes a difference where teams are now like not sure, this is a different look. That doesn't help the opponent. I mean, that makes it tougher. So there's some of that too. Now teams will get a little bit better look at this from LAFC and see where that takes us. But we're also not really playing any like playoff opponents the rest of the way for the most part. You wouldn't think. I mean, there's a game against Austin, I guess, taking nothing away from them. They may well be a threat in the playoffs, right? But there's not, again, that means the schedule may be a little easier, but also like these teams that we're going to maybe face in the postseason aren't going to get a look of this except on just film, or on,
we're keeping it very real right now.
Yeah,
that schedule that's left for LAFC is very favorable for LAFC. They got to take care of business because you know what? LAFC will probably have to face San Diego or Seattle, right? I think that's my opinion. Somewhere down the line in the playoffs, and both of those teams have been dangerous. Seattle is very dangerous at Lumen Field. You want to be above Seattle in the playoff standings, right? To have that home field at BMO Stadium. Absolutely. That is crucial. And so take care of business here.
If it ended the way it is right now, LAFC would have that home field advantage in the first round. It's it's best of 3 in the first round too. So you're going back to Lumen Field no matter what once, but you have the 2 home games against a very difficult Seattle team as the standings are right now. LAFC vaulted over Seattle with Wednesday night's win. That's another reason number 1,879,000 why it was a huge game in the standings. Certainly was, you literally could just vault over Seattle into that top 4. Now, that doesn't mean we want to stop. Let's hope we can get, again, you want to win out and hope you win the West. Look what happened last season. It came down to the, final kick of the season, essentially, in the regular season, and LAFC somehow pulled that out, even though we didn't see that coming, or maybe at this time of the year, right? We weren't quite expecting that finish like that, but you can't count out LAFC, that's for sure. But just to even be in 4th right now and the climb up the table, Mario, let's keep it going, And it does continue on Sunday with this very same RSL team that we just played on Wednesday night. This time, of course, at BMO. So it'll be LAFC hosting RSL, a little after 6 o'clock kickoff for that match locally. Big news. And, I kind of just didn't even think of this as I'm calling the match last night. Victor Olentunji loses his head, quite literally, and headbutts, essentially. Or, I don't know what happened. Some thought it might have been like an elbow or something. He made contact with Artem Smolyakov that VAR deemed excessive, right?
Yeah.
I thought it might have been like he used his head. I could be wrong. I don't want to, I didn't have a great look at that. but obviously takes down Smolikov. VAR calls the referee over, and he gives the straight red. Yeah. Bye-bye Victor for Sunday night. Like normally, Mario, when a guy gets a red card against you, it actually doesn't really do that much for the you in the long run.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps that game, I guess. Of course, you're down to 10 men, which RSL ended up being down to 10. He's got to quickly turn around, and they're playing LAFC. He must miss the LAFC game. And I got to tell you, he was a handful physically. That was the first we've seen him, of course. He signing in August, Victor Olatunji. That dude, he was rugged. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Him and Porteous were going at it. Him and Tafari were going at it. Segura, like that whole back line was feeling Victor Olatunji's wrath at times. See ya. Now he misses the game against us, which is really kind of quite amazing if you think about it. How often does that happen, really?
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. We talk about that before. You always bring that up, how you wish that they could pay for it on the next time that they face that same exact team. So this time around, it is happening that way, which is kind of cool. But I think luckily for Olatunji that he won't be facing Smolikov and Bouanga or Son. Because, I mean, as rugged as you say he was, we still scored 4 goals. LAFC scored 4 goals that night. So, but I think Smolikov, he has that face of like a real nice guy, but man, you see his eyes. He was trying to stay calm, and Ryan Porteous was holding him back, and he did stay calm. But I know Ryan Porteous was like, just chill out, don't react, because you don't want to get a yellow card reacting to something like that. And Smolikov, he kept his calm, so props to him. But referee Armando Villarreal, he didn't take long, right? When he went to VAR. I mean, we didn't even get to see much of a replay. He just went, saw it, and right away pulled out the red card. So it must have been something very obvious.
VAR must have been like, yes, this is going to be a red. Just come over and take a peek.
I don't remember seeing a review or a replay in the booth. I don't remember.
No. They might have shown one, and maybe I missed it or something, but like it was like,
quick,
He was done. Yeah, Villarreal was done. Now, to get back to this match, though, we do want to play some audio of the goals, too. These are, we want to talk more about this. Like, obviously, Son Heung-min getting the hat trick to make it 3-0. This is why the third one, the big one, the third goal, that hat trick goal was so big because of how Denis Bouanga helped set it up. Let's listen to this from 710.
Get a foot through at top of the area, knock down initially. Delgado trying to clear it out towards Son. Momentarily, LAFC, Schwanier, great ball through the middle. Denis is streaking. Denis is onside. It's Bouanga 1v1 with the keeper. Denis cutting across to Son and in! Son scores the hat trick. It's 3-1. Denis feeds him, and LAFC are back on top by 2. Oh, what a goal for the black and gold. So
so unselfish. Sorry, I stopped it there, but yeah, I mean, it was just a great play by Denis Bouanga, Mario. I thought he was going to shoot. I mean, he had every right to shoot.
He did. He did have every single right to shoot, but he blessed Sonny, right? He blessed Sonny with that one. But then later on, God blessed Denis right back for sure.
Absolutely. Here's the goal for Denis Bouanga, which we'll talk about because it made history.
Good touch there. Right to Denis. Denis streaking around the defenders. Denis all alone down the middle of the field. It's Denis 1v1 with Cabral. Denis shot and in! Denis Bouanga is LAFC's top scorer all time! Oh, Denis, you celebrate, young man! Jump for LA Football Club. Denis! He is...
Oh, beautiful there. All courtesy of 710 ESPN and LAFC, of course. That is the radio call that we had last night, and I was just loving it. It was so much fun. And history like that, you want to be ready for it. I knew, obviously, that Denis was just one goal away. You can never really expect for it to happen that fast in a sense, Mario, because he's been red hot. Of course, 3 goals the previous game, you're not expecting him to catch up that quickly necessarily because it was only a week ago that he was still 4 goals away, so that's true. Amazing. So,
and Denis, he deserves all those goals for sure, all the praise, because there have been times when he comes back from international duty and then he gets right back into an LAFC game. He could easily, say, oh, let me get some rest, jet lag or what. I just got off the plane. But no, he wants to be in the game. So how many times did he come back from Gabon playing with the international team and then comes back to BMO Stadium and scores 2 goals, a goal? So he deserved all those. A lot of those goals don't add up if he doesn't say, "Put me in, coach. I'm ready to go." So
Absolutely.
The value of Denis Bouanga is just priceless because some players are not going to do that. Denis is there. You can depend on him. The front office, the coaching staff, they can depend on Denis. He's going to be ready to go.
Yeah, but Mario, it's not even some players aren't going to do that. Some players shouldn't do that. That is a lot. I mean, it is like not like
Dave.
Like I'm not going to go so far as superhuman, but like, come on, like
I'm second guessing it sometimes. I'm like, is he really going to play? He just landed. I'm second guessing it.
A lot of people shouldn't do that, quite frankly. I mean, clearly Denis can handle it, but that's no disrespect to somebody who doesn't necessarily do all that. Like he's just different, and it works for him, and that's maybe he thrives on it. You could say that, right? I mean, it's not even like he's just like he can just do it. He's thriving when doing it, because 7 goals now, as you say, since that, first Gabon international there. So it's only been a total of 5 games or whatever, or 4 games in that, stretch. So for him,
I don't know if it's adrenaline or what it is, because adrenaline is a crazy thing, right? That can make you not feel pain. That can make you not feel tired. That must be it, because he is just running unstoppable.
Yeah, it really is impressive. There's no doubt. And look, the word is historic for him because he passed. I mean, you don't just pass Carlos Vela, right? Like Carlos Vela is the legend. He is LAFC, and you've scored more goals than Carlos Vela. I mean, that's all you need to know. That's the first line of the story, and that's the only line you need.
And don't forget, this Sunday could be another night of history for Denis Bouanga too. He just needs one more goal to become the first player in MLS history to record 3 straight 20-goal seasons.
And Carlos will be there,
huge.
Right? I mean, Carlos Vela
will be there.
So that would be awesome.
What a night it's going to be.
Course. Yeah, let's hope Denis does it, right? I mean, again, you can never count on that necessarily, right? Every game you're going to score, although we know how hot Denis Bouanga can get, but let's hope he does it. That would be so special. That would be amazing. You get history, you do that, kind of in a way, you kind of get it out of the way because it was on his mind, I'm sure. And, you don't want that lingering around and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're still 4 goals away, it's been a while here. Check our watches.
But that makes that assist to Sonny so much better, right? Because he knows that's in the back of his mind, and he still gave that ball to Sonny to get the hat trick, which is super cool.
Yeah, you were absolutely right. He had every right to shoot that. I mean, the dude made the run. He got fed a great ball by Schwanier. It's not like defenders weren't really closing him down until the bitter end, which is when he saw the pass. Cabral did make a nice move off the goal line, and Cabral's a very good keeper. So Denis, I think, kind of sucked him in and let him come. And then obviously Son just had to tap it home. Essentially, it was a good finish. But Son also made the run.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
We saw that against San Jose when Denis had the breakaway too. Son made that hard run to keep Dave Romney, right with Son. He couldn't come over, on the game on Saturday. Romney couldn't close till it was too late. And that makes a difference. So Son making those runs, sometimes you're going to get rewarded for it. Sometimes your teammate can use it to be rewarded himself. And both of those guys just good.
And the next time around, Denis had the chance again to maybe give it off to David Martinez, but nah, no chance. I think Denis was like, this one's mine. This one's mine, youngster.
Yeah, David did not have the angle that Denis had on that one either. So just the way the play broke down or broke up, kind of the way the breakaway happened there, it was all Denis, rightfully so. And that goal was kind of perfect to break the record in a way because that's so Denis Bouanga, right? Any way you get it is fine, but that was just a perfect representation of what he can do and what he has done for LAFC, And the thing that people, if you don't watch LAFC, many of you, of course, are black and gold fans, most of you probably, but there's some plus fans here, or MLS. If you don't watch Denis every week, you probably don't really quite see how often it's actually him. Not, his teammates certainly do a lot of work too, but it's him getting that one last little touch to break the defense. Like, he's not just looking to, like, I'm just going to run a straight line past his defenders and these guys better give me the ball perfectly or whatever. Like, there's a lot of times he's breaking up that last little bit and taking off.
He creates a lot of his chances for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a better way to put it, easier way to put it. Nicely done, Mario. And so, and sometimes you're going to get rewarded by Schwanier, like what he did last night with that ball. Delgado had a couple of really beautiful balls for both Son and Denis on the attack. I mean, again, we talked about it. The midfield, just incredible. But history made, obviously Carlos Vela is just the legend. But to see Denis there, I mean, he's right up there. I mean, let's be honest. Like, he's just...
Let's talk about Sunday, though, because Sunday, for those that don't know, it's going to be a special night at BMO Stadium. It's Noche De Carlos Vela at BMO Stadium, in case you didn't know. So get there early. That's my suggestion, because there's going to be like a fan fest outside of the stadium. So have fun there. It's going to be a special ceremony and unveiling that honors Carlos Vela. So we'll see what that's about. That's going to be a nice little surprise. And it's going to be really cool just to see Carlos Vela back at BMO Stadium, because that is the stadium that Carlos built. Right? Just like Kobe built Crypto Staples Center, Carlitos built BMO Stadium. So he's a legend for life there at BMO Stadium. And I think it's going to be cool to see Carlos, hopefully interact with some of the guys, interacting with fans and Son Heung-min. I think Carlos has to be super, super proud of LAFC, how they went out and got another superstar, to lead this team for the next few years. A guy like Sonny, I think Carlos probably loves him. He just, what a guy, So Son and Carlos should have a moment Sunday night. That'd be cool. But Carlos left a lot of resume. He left a lot of stats there, right? For Sonny to go and try to chase, because I know Sonny knows about Carlos and what he did here with the black and gold. He's mentioned it. He knows how great Carlos had a great career here with LAFC. So he's up for the task. And if there's anybody up for the task, I think definitely it is Sonny.
Well, we all know what Carlos Vela did in 2019. 49 goal contributions, which is still an MLS record that, who knows? I mean, I guess there's rumors that Lionel Messi is signing another long-term deal in Miami, and he's the type of guy that could go after that record if he could stay healthy enough to play enough games, which may or may not, when you get older, he's going to take time, just not easy. And that's 49 goal contributions for Vela. And I think Vela, if I remember correctly, Vela only played like 31 of those games. It wasn't like he played all 34 regular season games either. So 49 goal contributions. Whew, that is work to be done, and as good as you are, it doesn't matter. You could be, Carlos Vela is as good as they come. So world-class players haven't come even close to that, many of them in MLS, realistically. So, the great Carlos Vela will be honored on Sunday. That's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great game. But, Mario, we got to look around the rest of MLS this weekend. Obviously, some more big games. I'll start with my pick of a game I think you should all keep an eye on. LA Galaxy taking on FC Cincinnati in Los Angeles. And the reason I point this game out, look, there's nothing for it on Galaxy. They're going to, they're going nowhere, obviously. But I think it's interesting to see how Cincinnati handles this longer trip, going on the road, a game that you should win even on the road. But the Galaxy are playing a little better, certainly lately. Yeah. They're going to make it more difficult. Cincinnati, to me, Mario, I want to get a better look at this team. And I know the Galaxy aren't like the most dangerous opponent or anything, but the Galaxy, they are playing, as I said, they're playing better. They're kind of just not just like rolling over anymore, losing 7-0. You know what I mean? They're putting up fights, and Cincinnati need that. They need a good performance. Like it's a team that I just don't think is as good, maybe as even their record indicates. It's crazy to say.
I kind of hear you, Dave. I think Galaxy could catch Cincinnati on this one. We aren't seeing the best FC Cincinnati as of late. They've only won 2 out of the last 6 games, and I think the Galaxy are really ramping up because they want to get that Campeones Cup. and that's going to be
absolutely. You gotta be ready for
October
that.
1st
Yep.
against the Mexican champs, Toluca, of course. So for the Galaxy, to ramp up for that and trying to get that trophy, at least one trophy, they can kind of save face for this, terrible season that they're having, just to be honest. So I think that being said, Cincinnati is one of my top teams to come out of the East to get to the MLS Cup. They do have a lot of star players there, leading by Evander. Evander had an amazing goal last weekend in the dying seconds of the game. So they do have Evander there, but I think Galaxy are kind of ramping up right now towards the very end of the season for no reason other than to win the Campeones Cup and raise a trophy there.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That's a good one.
And also, FC Cincinnati, they bring in a guy like Brenner who had been there before, had some success, but then kind of left. And maybe wasn't maybe it wasn't a perfect situation. But then they come back. He comes back now, ready to go, and really want it. And that goal he scored to win that game, Evander feed him. What a first touch from Brenner and a finish to get that late goal in that most recent match. So. Yeah, I want to see how FC Cincinnati handles this road trip here for this one. Mario, what's your pick of the weekend around the rest of MLS?
There's a couple games in the West, actually. I like Houston and Portland. That's a good one in the West. Portland is barely above the playoff bar and trying to stay there. And then Houston is right below it. They're trying to get into it. They're trying to get above the playoff bar. But I'm looking at Austin and Seattle Sounders because we know Seattle is right there on our heels. We talked about it earlier. They're just 2 points below LAFC, and Seattle definitely knows how to ramp it up at the right time. They just won League's Cup, just beat Inter Miami. They know they're ramping up for the playoffs. They want that home field advantage in the playoffs at Lumen Field. Huge advantage for Seattle if they do that. So they're coming out at this game in Austin. They got to win it on the road. It's going to be a tough one on the road in Austin, but this is a game that I want to keep an eye on for LAFC reasons, right? Because Seattle is right behind LAFC.
Yeah. Well, also on a night where LAFC make a lot of headlines, Austin actually getting to the U.S. Open Cup final with a extra time goal, 120th minute goal from CJ Fodry to beat Minnesota. On the road, by the way, 2-1 the final there for Austin. So
that actually, U.S. Open Cup tournament kind of follows Ilie Sanchez, right? I mean,
boy, it sure does. That's a great
doesn't
call.
It?
Wow.
Yeah. He loves that tournament too.
They'll actually host Nashville in the U.S. Open Cup final coming up on Wednesday, October 1st. So that's another thing in the back of Austin's mind right now. Yeah, they still got to push for the MLS Cup playoffs. They got to get in still. But they got that lingering, though, too.
True.
So we'll see how much that affects them. Hopefully not a lot against Seattle. I make no bones about it. Let's go Austin, Let's go Ilya here. Let's win that one,
Go Ilya,
that, but we'll see how that affects them too. That's a good shout, though. I like that game. LAFC hosting Real Salt Lake coming up Sunday. Airtime for the pregame, 5:30 Pacific on the ESPN LA app. We've talked about it here. You can get it anywhere you want to listen, and it's an easy app. Download that ESPN Los Angeles app. Super easy to get, to listen to LAFC. Click on the button, boom, you're listening to the LAFC broadcast coming up on Sunday. Mario, that's going to do it for me. Episode 73 in the books. Great show as always. Love talking the black and gold and the rest of MLS with you, brother. Take us out of here, man.
Yeah, Noche De Carlos Vela this Sunday. If you can't be at the stadium, because I know tickets are hard to come by right now as of late with sunny and everything and as hot as LAFC are, if you can't be there at the stadium, tune in to the ESPN LA app because every single LAFC game is on the ESPN LA app and it's also on 710 ESPN. So make sure to check us out for the pregame show. We got an extended pregame show. We got a lot of interviews ready to go. It's going to be a nice long pregame to get you ready for the game. So make sure you join us. Dave Denholm, he'll be on the call. I'm Mario Ruiz. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.